Soon to be eighth graders, let's talk about summer work. As I told you in goal setting, this is a huge important summer for you to set yourself up for the year and to get you into the high schools that you want. So during summer work, you're going to have to read To Kill a Mockingbird and do a reading project. You have to read Flush and doing a reading project. You have to do Khan Academy math, either the pre-algebra mission or the seventh grade mission. You got to do 50% of that. And you have to either do the HSPT practice test 1 or the SSAT practice test, right? If you plan on applying to any independent schools, you have to take the SSAT, even though you're going to apply to Catholic also. All right, let's talk about the reading project, right? In the reading project, you have Mrs. Frost has you doing a couple different things. It's not just a chapter summary. You have a choice, right, of writing a newspaper article, right, a book report, an interview write-up, a poster, things you're not allowed to do. PowerPoint or Google Slides will not be accepted, right? So a newspaper article, right? The details are there. I'll let you read it. A book report, details are there. An interview write-up for a book magazine, a poster, but no PowerPoint or Google Slides will be accepted, right? And you have to present this when you get back in September. So you have, for eighth graders, you have 2 books, so you have 2 projects to do for that. So start early, right? Do a good job with these. If you have questions on what you need to do, please email Mrs. Frost, right? Let her know ahead of time if you have any questions. All right, HSPT and SSAT, right? You need to do one or the other, and you got to do practice test 1. Let's talk about which one you do. If you're going to independent schools, Greenough Noble, St. Sebastian's, Rivers, any of those independent schools, they require you to do the SSAT. So you need to do the SSAT practice test, right? All your Catholic, if you're going to also apply to Catholic schools, they'll accept the SSAT. It's a little harder, not much, but it's a little different structure than the HSPT. If you're just going to apply to Catholic schools, you need to take the HSPT. If you plan on not applying to any Catholic or independent school and you plan on going to a public school, you don't have to do either one, right? But if you have any possibility that you're going to apply to one of those schools, please study ahead of time and take the practice test, right? If you wait until the end and decide to do it later, it's going to be hard to catch up in practice before you take the test. Again, for the summer work, you have to do practice test number 1 in either one of the books. All right. There's 5 subtests in each one of the tests. All right. So you got to do all 5 subtests. I think there's 3 English and 2 math in each practice test. All right. Make sure you do them all. In one of the pages is an answer sheet, a bubble-in answer sheet. Tear that out and do each one of your subtests on that bubble sheet. Later on in the summer, I will send you a link to a spreadsheet, and then you can upload all your answers to that. That way in September, when we start doing some practice for these before you take it, right, we'll go over all the ones that you got wrong. Last but not least is Khan Academy. Right? You need to do 50% of your mission. In 8th grade, you're either doing the pre-algebra mission if you're in pre-algebra or the grade 7 mission. Again, your goal is to get 50% of your main. The rest of this video is showing you how to use Khan Academy, how it's changed a little bit. If you did English Khan Academy last summer, it looks very similar to that, but I go through all the different things, the main page, the unit page, the practice test, the unit quizzes, and things like that. So good luck this summer. Again, I can't stress enough that you stay on top of this and you work at a little piece at a time and you come ready in September. That way you're ready to hit the books hard in September, get some good grades, and get to the high schools that you want. All right, soon to be 8th graders, right? Got Summer Khan Academy to do. It's a little different this year. Your goal is to get to 50% of the mission. So no more minutes. It's a percentage. You can check it on yourself. You know, you don't have to wait to the end of the week to figure out how many minutes you got, right? Again, most of you should be familiar, but we got 3 new students, so welcome. Welcome to them. I think we got Rocco, Justin, and who's our last? Natalie, I think is how you say it. All right, welcome. All right, so let's take a look. All right, so log on to your Gmail account. Right, log on to Gmail, and I'll back this out here so you can see it. Right, I'll log out of Joe's here. Right, so come up here, Gmail. Right, Gmail account. Right, again, I'm going to sign on with Joe's name, just so it's similar. Let's see if I remember his password. Probably not. There we go. Right. Make sure you have your, it's just say G Suite over here. If you highlight it, it'll say your name, and make sure you have the school one. I know some of you have different Gmail accounts. Make sure it's the school one. It only works with the school one, right? As long as you're open here, then we can go to open up another window by hitting the plus up in the upper left-hand corner. So you open another window up, right? I'm going to type in Khan Academy. I'm going to go to Khan Academy login, right? And you should get something of this. If not, hit login over here, right? If this doesn't come up and doesn't look like this, hit login. And with this, since you're already logged into your Google account, just continue with Google. Don't use your Google username and password down here. It won't work. Just hit continue with Google, right? Continue with Google. It'll ask me to allow Joe. Sometimes this comes up, sometimes it doesn't. Depends on if it's the first time logging in. Sometimes it comes to this. I have to do it one more time sometimes. So hit login again. Continue with Google. And I think this time it finally comes in. Sometimes I have to do it twice. Right? Again, you should get to this page here. Right? It says Joe Canto up here in the corner. Your name should be up here. Right? This is called the learners page. Right? Shows you what class you got going on right now. You notice it's due by September 1st. You're going to do the 7th grade mission over again. Those that are in pre-algebra, this will say pre-algebra instead of grade 7, right? Due September 1st, needs to be 50%. Right now, Joe's at 1%, right? It's got to get to 50% is the goal. To start it out, click on it, and it'll bring you to the 7th grade mission. Up here in the left-hand corner, it'll say math, nice highlighted, and then 7th grade. This is the main page, right? This is the main page, right? You'll see 100 down here, so Joe's got 100 points already, and his goal, there's a total of 11,600 points. You're at 1%. You need to get this, on this page, 1% to 50%, right? In this column, as you can see, are listing out all the major units that you need to do, right? Major units. Over on this side of the page, right, to the right of it, show the units, but all their subunits underneath it, right? They also show you, this is your progress bar, right? Show you the progress bar. It's the same bar that's over here on the left-hand side, right? It looks like Joe worked on some geometry. If I scroll down to geometry here, you'll notice that's just showing you the same thing. A little more detail, tells you how many points out of the total points available, right? When you do this, you can start anywhere you want. You don't have to go in order, right? Say you want to do some easy ones like order of operations. Go to order of operations. If you want to come down, and you can pick and choose. The goal is to get to 50% though, right? The goal is to get to 50%. I'm going to take an easy one for Joe here. Adding and subtracting integers. No, I'm going to do absolute value on you, Joe. I'm going to pick absolute value. All right. So now if I scroll all the way, right, it tells me here I'm in the unit negative numbers, addition, and subtraction, right? So this is a unit page, not the main page, right? It's telling me I have 1,900 points to do out of this whole thing, right? It's going to show you very similar here. It's going to show me my progress on each subunit, right? So again, and then over here it gives you all the detail. Let's go down. I think I was going to do which one? Absolute value. Where's that? This one here. Absolute value. Right? When I'm looking here at absolute value, a couple things. It gives you some videos. If you don't remember how to do absolute value, or you want to know before you get into it, right? You can watch these two videos that'll show it to you. Right? Again, here we go. It tells you the practice. You got a ribbon. It's very much like the English one. If you did English Con last year, looks very much similar. It's a ribbon. It's got three parts to it. The bottom big piece is your initial practice. Then you practice it again, and then the third one you get a mastery. So in order to master it, you really have to do it 3 times. But there's a catch. If you do the practice really well and get every one right, it'll fill in 2 of those for you. So you won't have to practice it again. The only thing you'll have to do is the mastery. Right? So let's practice it. Let's go into practice, and I'll show you how this fills in. It also, this over here shows you the progress altogether. Right? Let's do practice. Kind of tells you, and this kind of, it says it all the time, 7 questions, 7 to 11 minutes. I usually do it faster than that. I'm sure you will also. Let's go. A couple things. Make sure you read the problems, right? Sometimes it asks to choose 2. Sometimes it says choose 1. Sometimes there's 2 parts to it. So you got to select 2 things. So please pay attention to what they're asking you. You're piloting an airplane. To prepare for landing, you change the plane's altitude from A meters to C meters. Which of the following expression always represents the distance between the 2 altitudes? Right? The distance between 2 altitudes. A plus C inside the absolute values, A minus C between the absolute values, and then none of the above. Right? I want to know the altitudes. Right? So I want to know the distance between those altitudes. Right? And I'm starting at A and I'm going to C. So if I go A minus C, that'll always show me my distance. All right, then check. Woo, great job. Got 6 more to go. Right? Get 5 out of 7 to level up. Right? If you get 7 out of 7, you'll actually level up twice. Let's see if we can do this. Which of the following expression represents the distance between A and B on the number line? Between A and B. I'm going to say A. Please choose the correct number of answers. Choose all that apply. Again, make sure you check and see what that is. Right? I'm going to say A and B would both work. Right? Since it's absolute value, it's going to show you the distance. Right? So it shouldn't matter. None of the above. Nice job. Right? If you need step-by-step, if you want to see the step-by-step after you hit see if it's right, you can go back and see step-by-step. Right? I'll show you the step-by-step. It'll actually show you step-by-step how to do it. Right? But that's after you've already selected the correct question. Right? Next question. All right. Which of the following expression represents the distance between -4/3, right, and 1/3, right? Again, we're using these absolute values, right? Let's see. Choose one answer. I think it's this one. Let's see. No, can't be that one. Let's see. I want to know the distance. Following the expression, the distance between -4/3. None of the above. None of those work. None of that works. Right? If you want to watch a video or get a hint, right, you can watch the video. Right? I'm going to check it. I'm going to go with none of the above. Nice. Right? It was a tough one. All right. Joanne dropped a sandbag from a hot air balloon at a target that is 250 meters below the balloon. At this moment, the sandbag is 75 meters below the balloon. Which of the following expression represents the distance between the sandbag and the target? Right? Drop the sandbag from a hot air balloon at a target that is 250 meters below the balloon. At this moment, the sandbag is 75 meters below the balloon. Not an easy one to think about. Which of the following represents the distance between the sandbag and the target? I'm going to say B. Choose one answer. B. Nice. Not an easy one to think about. Absolute value. Select the number line model that represents 4 minus 1. Well, again, 4 is where I start on the number line, so I started on 4 minus 1. Well, I already know 4 minus 1 is 3, so this distance here should be 3. That's a distance of 5. That's a distance of 5. I'm going to say none of the above. Nice. All right, you also collected, right, 50 of the 100 mastery points. So at this point, notice I got one part of the ribbon. If I finish these next two, I'll get the second part of the ribbon. Let's hope for the best. The sun is V kilometers from the upper edge of the Earth's atmosphere and Q kilometers from the surface of the Earth. Which of the following expression always represents the distance between the Earth's surface and the upper edge of the Earth's atmosphere? The sun is V kilometers from the upper edge of the Earth's atmosphere. Q kilometers from the surface of the Earth. Which of the following expression always represents the distance between the Earth's surface and the upper edge of the surface? I'm going to say B. V is the upper edge, and Q kilometers from the surface of the Earth. I'm going to say B. Nice. Which of the following expression represents the distance between 1.7 and negative 1/2 on a number line? The distance. Which of the following expression represents the distance between 1.7 and negative 1/2 on the number line? I'm going to say B. Nice. All right. Show summary. Ooh, we got 7 of 7 correct, 485 energy points. Done. Notice I got 2. Remember when I got 5 of them? 5 out of 7 gets you the practice done. Right? 7 out of 7 gets you, that means I don't have to practice it again. I just have to get the mastery. The way you get the mastery is when you're done with this unit, you can come down and take the quiz. Right? Level up on the above skills, right? This is what's going to get you your mastery, right? But you got to do these sections first. You got to practice them at least once before you can go to the quiz, right? Again, you don't have to have them both at the 2, but you have to practice at least once before you can come down and take the quiz, right? And at the end, there's a unit test for more points, right? Collect up to 1,900 mastery points. All right. All right, finish that one. Notice in this unit, I'm going to go all the way back to the top here. In this unit, notice this is a unit because it has unit here. I got 4% mastered of that unit. What's that going to translate to the overall? Let's see. If you want to go see the overall, right above unit is 7th grade. Right? See the line show up underneath it? Right? And I'm going to click on it. And this brings me back. Oh, now I got 2%. I think I started with 1%. Now I'm at 2%. Right? Got to get this percentage right here on the main page to 50%. That's your summer goal. A couple other things, right? Some of you already know this. You've done it at Khan Academy enough times. If you come up and click on your name, and click on Joe Canto's name here, I go to Learner's Home, right? Kind of brings you back to your main page here, right? Shows you all the different things you're doing, right? Right now, Joe's only working on the 7th grade mission, right? He's got 2% done. Other things up here, right? Tells you your streaks, right? Remember, you get badges along the way. Some of you do pretty good. Joe's got a lot of badges already. I can see it. This tells you how many points Joe's got, right? Energy points. Energy points helps you get these new. The more energy points you get, right? Gives you option to open up new avatars, right? These are all your badges that you've earned. Joe's earned 79 badges total. And these are different badges as you go, right? You'll see them pop up as you go, right? Over here, since I got so many energy points, let's see if Joe can upgrade his avatar, right? Come up here to all avatars, right? Joe's picked the orange juice squid, right? Right. I think he's got all of them open. I do Johnny. Johnny's mine, right? Joe could even do the one I have. I have this guy right here, right? But I'm gonna leave Joe where he's at because it's Joe's, right? He's got the orange squid. He only had to earn 50,000 points, right? Sometimes there's more styles underneath it, right? And that's it. Good luck.